All right, Facebook. I'm chiming back on because I just heard the news about the young lady at my alma mater, the Fort Valley State University, and I am devastated. And I'm devastated because I just launched this book, and this book is dealing with something that happened to me when I was in college, and my outcome, though, was devastating. I made it. I'm still alive, and this young lady is not alive. They found her. They found her dead, not far from the area. She was just in Crawford County, for God's sake. She hadn't gotten far. And I am just so emotional right now about that girl because I was praying that she was okay. And she wasn't. And that just furthers my beliefs, because I could have been that girl. I could have been that young lady. Our situations was similar. I could have been found dead, but I wasn't. And I'm so sad for her family, her father, that knew that was not the character of his daughter to be missing for that amount of time without anybody having contact with her. In my particular situation, unfortunately, it was before cell phones. We were still putting quarters in the telephone, so we didn't have our finger on, our college students as much as we do at this particular time. But I will tell you, that hit home, that struck a nerve with me, because not only because it was a school that I graduated from, it was because the story was similar to my own experience. And I was like, OMG. If it wasn't an outsider praying for that girl, like I was praying for that girl like she was my own, because I saw myself every time they had her picture on social media. Every time they had her on the news, I was like, oh my God, that was me. And just to find out just shortly that they just found her body, y'all, we got to pray. And I know that everybody that may be my social media friend may not be a believer, but if you are a believer and you know that God is real, we have to pray for the world that we're living in right now, because people don't care about others. No, nobody, whoever did this to her, they didn't care that she was somebody's child. They did not care that she had a future. They did not care about her life. And this is just so somber. This is somber for the world. But this is especially heartbreaking for those of us that went to school at the Fort Valley State University, because those kind of shenanigans were not happening like that when we was in school. And I just have to blame it on the heartlessness of the world right now. We just have to pray that God softens the heart, and that we are going to be about our Father's business and take care of each other like the neighbors that we are. We got to start taking care of each other like a village and loving on one another. Somebody could have saved that baby if somebody just had been watching. They had to pass somebody. Somebody saw them. Somebody saw that girl. Somebody saw that girl in distress and chose to do nothing. And we got to do better, world. We have to do better. But I just, it just touched my heart so much, this story. Yeah, April. We got to pray for the family as well. It just struck so much of a nerve for me because one of my stories that's in my book deals with something just like this, because it happened to me, but God, and I'm here today, but God, and I was definitely praying for her because I wanted her to be found alive. And so for you that may not be in Georgia or in the middle Georgia area, because I know that those of you that are in Atlanta, you've heard about the story because that's where the girl's father is. And those of you that are from the Wildcat Nation, because it's come through our pipeline about one of our falling daughters of the school. Young lady on Thursday, which was wasn't that Valentine's Day, she was found. They had mentioned that she was missing, and that no one had contact with her since Valentine's Day, since she had left the aunt's house with the boyfriend's aunt house or something like that. And so she's been missing all this time since then. And I really thought, I'm not God, so it's not my will, but I was really praying that she was being rebellious. I just got finished I just got out my mouth to one of my staff members, because they had been praying too, that we just pray that this young lady is being rebellious and we're off trying to be grown, and that she's going to come back home and all will be well with her. But guys, she didn't come home. They just found her body in Crawford County. So she is not with us anymore. And that poor family, you send your child off to college and you have all of these hopes and dreams for your child, and you want them to be safe and have the experience at school. And I see a lot of my Wildcats chiming in right now. When we were in school at Fort Valley State, at that time, college for us, we felt safe. We didn't have any stories of people being missing and people coming up dead. I don't recall any stories like that from when we were in school. Forrest, do you remember any stories like that? I don't. Anita, do you remember any stories like that? I don't. Doug, do you remember any stories of any of our classmates ending up missing and bodies being found, down the street? No, that was not our experience when we were at the Fort Valley State University. Right. Yeah, right, Sean. No, I don't remember any of that. We didn't have to go through that, and it's just so sad that the world that we're living in, that our children are having to deal with those type of issues, and we shouldn't have to. We got to be about our Father's business. College is supposed to be a developmental place, a safe place for us, not having to worry about our kids going off there and not coming home. That is not the reason why we send our children off to college. We're sending out them to get an education and to come back home. And that family didn't get that. That family in Atlanta did not get that for that young lady. And again, I'm just sharing with you and being transparent with you because I'm letting you know that that same experience, that same situation that happened to this young girl where she was missing, because I was missing for almost 3 days. But God, somebody found me. I hate that the outcome is the way that it is, because I'm thinking with my carnal mind, because I'm not God. But God saw fit for the outcome to be like this. That's the way we have to deal with that. But it doesn't make it no more sadder than it is. It's a sad situation, guys. And so if you know somebody that goes to Fort Valley State, call them, check on them, make sure that they're okay. If you know a student that's at school there right now, call them and check on them right now. I'm quite certain that they have the grievance counselors on the way. I have some of my friends that are they're at the school now, and they are counselors, so I'm quite sure they're already on the job to do what they need to do. Would you say someone violated this baby in here, or they need to be addressed? You're right, and I think so far the person that of interest is the boyfriend, and I just know that when we were down there, guys, we were in packs. We were never by ourselves. We didn't roll like that. I just remember like hanging out with my best friend, and I already told y'all who that was, Shamika Smith Banks, whoever she is, when we went out in a group. We didn't go out alone. Nobody was by themselves. We saw about each other. We cared about each other. We didn't let anybody go astray. So it just lets you know what the pulse of the world is right now. Nobody really cares about anybody anymore. And what you said, Anita, they've questioned him 3 times. 3 times, and this is ridiculous. I mean, I don't understand. This is sad. This exactly, Shamika. Go together, lead together. I didn't even know that you were on here. Exactly. When you go together, you leave together. And you told somebody where you was going. All right. We did look out for each other when we were in school. So I'm like, it's on ABC World News, Tangi. Oh my God. The Fort Valley State has made national news, and not in a good way. This is not good, y'all. I mean, we got to stay prayed up. We got to stay prayed up with for our future, guys. I mean, I know that and it's a lot of my classmates that are coming through here that we were all at Fort Valley State together. And I mean, just think about it. That was not so far ago. That was not far ago. That was not long ago for us. We were there, and this definitely could have been one of us. All right, and not to be sympathetic and empathetic for that family. It's just not cool. What did it say? Yes, he was at the police station when the news aired at 6:00. So I guess my question is that when she came up missing initially, I'm trying to figure out why there was not more questioning from the friends, the family members, and stuff like that. I know they found the car, and some of our possessions were in the car, which would have been strange to me. So I'm just really concerned. I'm more concerned about the pulse of our world that we're living in right now, that we don't see about one another. The village mentality is just not there anymore. And, And I even see some of my Atlanta family that has chimed in. I'm quite sure. I know when you guys were at Clark, you didn't have the situation like what happened to the young lady there. These are becoming more frequent, and that is very. It doesn't sit well with me in my spirit that we're having these issues in a place that's supposed to be to better yourself. All right. So what did you say, Katrina? Heartbreaking prayers and accountability from for one another is a must these days. You are so right about that. But everybody has kind of taken on this mentality of us four and no more. All right, and that's not the way that we were designed. God didn't design for us to live like that. You just say, John, time is changing for the worse. Sadly, we have got to find another way to make our campuses safe again. You're right, but see, here's the thing for me, and I know that Shamika can attest to this. Even when we went off campus, we was in packs. We didn't settle off or by ourselves. We just didn't do that, and again, it's because, and it's you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's the elephant in the room. It's too much of the social media. It's too much of the social aspect of things. The social media is really having us where we're not in touch with one another, where we're in each other's presence enough as to even care. So because the social media aspect is there, stuff like this is happening in the world that we're in right now. If I needed to talk to my friend, I had to get up and go to where my friend was. I didn't have the phone and the device and stuff like that. So we just lived in a whole totally different world than the young people live in right now. All right. Yeah. And we did, Tangie. We always told somebody where we were and who we were with at all time. All right. You're right. And everybody went together when we did something. I know Jeans Hall, we was tight. Where you going? Who you going with? When you getting back? We do you need us to come with you? These were those kind of questions that we were asking. We weren't gonna leave anybody. It didn't matter where we went to. We telling our age. We went to the Brown Derby or wherever we went. We were going together, and we were coming back together. We were not doing any of that solo stuff. That's not gonna happen. Let's go. No, let's go. All right. Now we'll see everybody tomorrow. Okay. So we just got to do better, guys. So y'all just keep that family in your prayers. Those of you that this may not be, news for you in your area, just say a simple prayer for that family in Atlanta, for the Fort Valley State University family, and all of the friends that she made while she was there her short time at our wonderful, wonderful school. All right. So what did you say, Doug? I believe it will be the boyfriend or another black male. We need to revisit how we're raising black boys. Oh, I 100% agree with you. It's a lot of the music that we're listening to, a lot of the society, that things in the society that is just kind of devaluing our black boys. They feel like they don't have any hope, they don't have any worth, so they just kind of do or emulate what they see on TV, and that is not the real world. Tangie, and to me, with the apartments, there isn't even a campus life anymore. Right. When we was there, that was actually Buzzy's coworker's daughter's. Oh my God, that's too close to home, Shamika. Okay, Shamika, for real, seriously. OMG. That was Tammy's coworker's daughter.
Y'all, this is a mean old world that we living in. All right. As they say, you get your life right. You have to have a faith walk for this stuff right here. Anita, what you're saying? It's the boyfriend. She texted a friend that she was nervous, and she with him. Oh God, no, for real? When did this come out, Anita? Okay, is that for real, Anita? Is that just some hearsay? Do they have the phone text message? Oh my God. Okay, Shamika, social media and technology has disconnected us all. This world is much smaller than we want to believe. You're right. I mean, we didn't have it. We just didn't have any of that to lean on at all. We had to get up and we had to be in people's face, and we had a connection with them because we were with them in body and soul, and our thank you, Anita. And we just don't have those soul connections with people anymore. And so and social media is definitely the death of our society. We got to do better. It's one of those like two-edged curses that we have. It's like it's good because we can get connected to each other fast, but it's bad because it disconnects us in our souls, and that's not the way that we want to be living here today. So again, guys, I jumped on here because I was so heartbroken about the news. Love you too, Doug. Of this girl being found dead in Crawford County, which is right in our back door for those of us that live in Macon, right down the street for all of those students that live in Fort Valley State. So they didn't get far with her. All right. So she didn't get far, but it's just disheartening that we live in a society now where these kind of things can happen and nobody see nothing. All right, so that's it. So again, I'm gonna jump off. I just wanted to kind of leave y'all with that. Thank you, Anita. Just leave y'all with that this very situation could have been me. That could have been me at 18 years old, because something like this did happen to me, but I'm here. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for just helping me through this, because this is tough. This is a tough pill to swallow for me. All right. But we know that the Lord is great. The Lord is good, and he's worthy to be praised, and he doesn't do anything wrong. We may not understand it because our understanding is not his. Our understanding is not infinite. And so we know he knows all, we don't. So we just have to continue to pray that we can get through the emotions that this is having in our lives. I love you too, Anita. All right, sis. I'll see y'all. Love y'all much.